Hello, my name is Marloe and I work for an advertising agency based here in Johannesburg called Demographica. We are a 10-year-old advertising agency. We're based in Joburg and Ilovo. We also have offices throughout Africa. There are 45 people in and amongst our agency, and so that makes us a medium-sized agency in this space. We're a full-service ad agency, but our focus is specifically in the B2B space, business-to-business marketing and advertising. So if your customers are other businesses, we like to stay in this space and focus here specifically. And let me talk you through a couple of reasons why. B2B marketing, unlike B2C marketing, is incredibly measurable. Because there are only a finite amount of businesses that we can target, or because there's only a finite amount of people in construction or in medical, a certain amount of businesses and SMEs versus multinationals, the B2B space allows us to be incredibly measurable because we target those accounts, and over time we're able to track, did we see results, did we convert those into sales, and the measurability is there from the beginning. Another differentiator in the B2B space is that business customers are not a faceless entity. Because it's a finite amount of accounts that we're speaking to, we should, and it is cost effective, to do research and understand what their environment looks like. Understand the different motivators and the different drivers when speaking to your potential customers. So there is a CEO, there is a CIO, there's the FD. What makes them tick? What are their KPIs, and how do we create a resonance between us and them? Another thing in the B2B space is that the selling cycle is so much longer. So any strategy, any campaign that you put together, any creative needs to have legs across the campaign. While you're moving that person through the marketing funnel into closing that sale, your creative idea needs to have legs across that campaign. Decisions in the B2B space don't happen overnight. 8 months, 19-month selling cycles, it makes it a long selling cycle. And because of that, when we approach that, it needs to have a longer vision in mind. Also, in the B2B space, we found multiple influencers. So in the B2C space, it's just you making a decision about what Coke you're going to drink or what car you're going to buy. But in the B2B space, a company appointing a business banking partner or a new ICT partner, there are multiple decision makers in that space. So yes, the FD makes the decision, but you have the CIO, the CEO, procurement, who help in making that decision. And it would be irresponsible as marketers not to speak to each one individually and create that resonance with each one of them. So I'm here today to talk to you about account-based marketing, which essentially asks that sales and marketing as two divisions come together and focus their efforts on a certain amount of accounts. Okay, so this is not a new concept in marketing or in sales. You might know it as key account marketing or account-based marketing at scale. But the reason why this topic has become very hot, both internationally and in South Africa, is because I think marketers are being pushed more and more to consider ROI on their spend. We've put together this campaign. What are the results? They're being pushed very hard there. And sales, of course, is the fundamentals of any business. So these two businesses coming together and approaching anything with account-based marketing is a really strong standpoint. What account-based marketing does is it asks the two to sit together and identify customers that you're looking to target. Narrow them down and make sure that those businesses, should you land them, move the needle for your business. I'd like to show you an example of how this can be done. So we work with Zurich Insurance. They're an insurance provider in South Africa. And they brought out a business called B2B Insurance to South Africa. So what they needed to do was launch B2B Insurance to all bed and breakfasts in South Africa, and then also secure meetings for their brokers. So what we did was we sat with marketing and sales, and we identified the bed and breakfasts that they would like to target. We then fleshed out those accounts by understanding who's the owner of that bed and breakfast, what is their physical address, what is their email address, what is their designation, where is their bed and breakfast, and that then became the universe for our campaign. From there, we moved into understanding what these owners of these bed and breakfasts look like. So typically, bed and breakfasts are run by a husband and wife. Typically, 98% of them are run out of their own home, and they are fundamentally very trusting people. So they let people into their home a lot, and things go missing all the time. Also, on top of that, they did not see a need for business insurance. They didn't see a need for bed and breakfast insurance if they have insurance that covers their house or covers their work. So we needed to put together a fun campaign, and this is what we came up with.
I went into room 2 and I discovered that they had stolen a picture we just hung last week.
It was traumatizing. Our docking system was missing.
You simply could not believe it. Come into the drawing room here, the same thing, things missing. And the absolute worst was when they took my Ming vase.
I did not enjoy that. I didn't enjoy it at all.
Really, it was very stressful.
This is my home, but I've run it as a business for more than 30 years now. They seem charming when they arrive, and most of them are charming.
I don't understand how they take these things away, but that is what has happened, and there may be other things missing.
Gave me back my Ming vase.
Laughing now wasn't funny then.
They brought the system back.
Because it's not about the problem, it's about the solution.
And for some problems, but for this problem, it's a solution. Just saying.
I'm gonna hit you with this part.
What we then did was sent every single bed and breakfast that we had identified a flash over there, put that inside a stolen soap, along with some collateral around B&B insurance, and couriered that to each and every bed and breakfast. Each package was personalized to them. A couple of days later, our call center phones to follow up, have a laugh on the phone, and can a Zurich broker come and see you, yes or no? The beauty about account-based marketing is that it's hyper-targeted, and we're able to measure, did they say yes or no to a meeting? If they said no, what is the nurture path that we take them on after that to secure them as a customer later on? I'm going to talk to you about some basic principles when tackling account-based marketing. I think the most fundamental and biggest thing is that sales and marketing teams need to align. So we find that when these two departments sit together and come together around what accounts do we need to win or retain to move the needle for our business, we see significant changes in campaigns and how they work. Alignment from the beginning allows sales to be on board, have an impact on the campaign, and also for marketing to be jointly responsible for revenue, which I think is a bigger and bigger ask from firms given the economic climate at the moment. Secondly, we need to consider those decision makers. Because there are a finite amount of accounts that we're going after, we can decide who are the decision makers that we need to talk to as a business? Is it the CIO, CFO? Is it procurement? And then also consider that those decisions are not made by one person, they're made with influencers in mind. And so we should research and understand each of those people, what drives their decisions at work, what keeps them up at night, and how do we create a resonance between us, the brand, and these potential clients of ours. At Demographica, we use something called anthropology as our research tool. It's very unique to us. Anthropology is about studying people's human insights and behavior. It's immersive research. What it does is it places anthropologists in these accounts and begins to understand these decision makers, these influencers, what keeps them up at night, what are their KPIs, and how can you, as the brand, solve their problems and speak their language. And we use anthropology to do this. Account-based marketing also eliminates any type of spray and pray in advertising. Because you are looking at a finite amount of people to speak to, there is typically no need for above the line because there's wastage there. Because we understand these decision makers and these influencers, we can tap into what mediums to use to communicate to them. And so spray and pray is not necessary. We can target them on the correct channels that they resonate with. That then speaks back to measurability. So if we look at, have we put something on their desk as a direct marketing piece? Did they open it? Have they agreed to a meeting? If we're advertising on websites that they surf, have they clicked through? Have they engaged? Putting billboards on their way home from work, having engaging, personal, relevant messaging to them allows us to measure along the way, each and every step of the way. I'm going to show you one more piece in the account-based marketing space. Standard Bank Business Banking came up with a challenge for us. They wanted to target attorneys in South Africa. So what we did was we started with the research and began to understand that not only attorneys, but conveyancers and notaries in this space are very lucrative for Standard Bank because they hold massive trust accounts, and that's a lucrative part for Standard Bank. So we decided to hone in on notaries and conveyancers. We put together with the sales team 50 businesses that we wanted to target, and we built out the database. The names, the surnames, the addresses, the email addresses, the designations, who are the influencers, who are the decision makers, and fleshed out the accounts that would then become the universe for this campaign. Sorry, just to go back. When we started to research these people, notaries and conveyancers are very particular people. They're very detail driven. Their tools of trade are a beautiful pen and paper. That's how they keep track of things. That's how they take notes. And very, very A-type people, perfectionists. So we came up with this campaign with Standard Bank. So targeted at 50 businesses, each of them received an email that says, "Isn't it annoying when the details aren't taken care of?" And in this email, none of the I's are dotted and none of the T's are crossed. So for someone like me, this wouldn't bother me, but for a notary or conveyancer, this really gets their goat. And also they can't fix it because it's on their screen, it's an email. So we had some fun with them to begin with. A couple of days later, by courier, each of them received a direct marketing pack on their desk, which is a book, and if you open it, it has a whole lot of law speak in it. None of the I's are dotted, none of the T's are crossed in the book, and it comes with a pen, it comes with a pen for dotting I's and crossing T's. This is then followed up with a phone call to set up a meeting for the business bankers. Can a business banker come and see you? Yes or no? There is your measurability. Are they engaging and are they willing to connect? This was also then followed up with an email after that. So as you can see, as they're moving through the sales funnel, we're touching them with different touch points and measuring as we go along. Just to end off, account-based marketing is not a new thing to any of us. But I think if we tackle things by focusing the accounts, tapping into who those decision makers are and honing in on the research. But more than anything else, sales and marketing coming together, we've seen at Demographica some very, very powerful, measurable results. Thanks very much.